Good evening everyone and welcome to Gundam News. We started a new month this week, so that also means that we get a new Gunpla schedule. And while it isn't as bad as last month, it still isn't particularly great either. Although, for some people, we could definitely argue that it's quality over quantity. We're getting the high-resolution model Gundam Stray Red frame, powered red. And of course, it's very chunky proportions for 17,600 yen, around 140 US, and the Master Grade Rig Dom Revive 1.5 Disappointment, whatever you want to call it, for 5,500 yen, around 50 US. And boy, is my wallet happy that I'm not particularly fond of the powered red's proportions, because otherwise those shoulder and opening valve gimmicks that it's got going on would have definitely made for a very compelling purchase. And then the rig dom is the complete opposite in a way. Mechanically it's very but I do like the proportions of the thing. And if you still want either of them, at the moment of recording, both are pre-orderable from Hobbyling Japan, which are linked down below. Yeah, definitely dark times we're living in when it comes to new Gunpla releases, so maybe you need something to brighten up your life, like the high-grade Fawn Farsia. I think this is definitely the most magical girl-esque mobile suit from the real robot genre that we've ever gotten. Especially with that baton it's got. But anyways, the model is of course a remold of the normal Farsia, but now with a more subdued color scheme, newly molded legs, and the aforementioned Fawn Farsia baton, with a dedicated holding hand. And I also believe that that stand is different from the one that came with the Farsia. It now comes with a generic stand that we've also seen with Advance of Zeta kits and the newer Advance of Zeta kits like the Wound Ward and a few other kits that I've also seen them with. And now it also has a ring on that stand with holes for the bits. And then to connect those bits to the action base, we get 3 bendable tubes, which you can also cut in half if you want all 5 of them flying around. Pre-orders went up last week Friday for 1,540 yen, around 12 US, and you can get this thing in June. And then if the original Farsia is more your thing, to kind of go along with this new one, it's also getting a restock over at the Gundam Base online store. And it's not just the Farsia that's getting a restock. From Mega House Triple G collection, both Quattro Bajina and Haman will be getting a restock in late August, with pre-orders having opened today at the moment of recording. And now you might have noticed the very, very tiny issue with Quattro Bajina's name. At this point, I think they're just doing it intentionally. But anyways, talking about Haman, do you all remember 20-something office lady Haman-sama? Which I still have the card up here. Where was it? I don't have my glasses on. There we go. Well, we're getting something kind of similar this week, with a 2-volume light volume with a title that loosely translates to Mobile Suit Gundam Isekai Universal Century, a 24-year-old office lady who gets reincarnated as Kycilia. And as with many light novels, the title basically tells you everything you gotta know. A 24-year-old office lady gets reincarnated into the body of a 13-year-old Kycilia, who is then hell-bent on correcting the history of the Universal Century. So, what, she's gonna prevent Mikuve from doing anything? But anyways, she wasn't the only one who came to this world either. So buckle up for Loli Kycilia's bizarre adventure. And then we also have two smaller big news flashes. It has been confirmed that Cucuruz Doan's Island is going to be released on June the 3rd in Japanese theaters. Tickets will look like this. As long as supplies last, they'll come with a clear file that looks like that. And on Zaku Day, which is March the 9th, we're going to be getting a special announcement. So look forward to that. And then the other launch date that we now know about is for the Gundam Park Fukuoka, the place of the giant new Gundam. And that date is April 25th. In other small news then, the Gundam.Info Twitter account has reached over 150,000 followers, a feat they're celebrating with this new image. As the Gundam World Heroes Gaiden has released a new illustration, Thunderbolt is planning something for their 10th anniversary. Bacon and Takanori Nishikawa, my favorite Japanese musician, will be appearing at the Bamco Entertainment Festival 2nd, and Hiroko Moriguchi's cover of Beyond the Time has gone live on YouTube. Unfortunately, it is region locked, but that's not going to stop us NordVPN users, and you can become one of us with a sweet discount by either using the link down below or my code KKRT. Not only will you be getting access to region-locked content, but you'll also be supporting the channel. As for the gaming news then, like I said last week, UC Engage has a bunch of things planned for March. So this week we got the new story events based on Moon Gundam, and if you haven't checked out the promotional video yet, I'll have it linked down below. But that is again region locked, which should no longer be a problem for you. Then this will also allow you to read amazing comments like, "I'm very happy that they animated Moon Gundam, but other than that, it's pretty meh." Probably referring to the game. And then this other extremely cultured person who didn't even bother to comment about Moon Gundam at all, and went straight to saying that he wanted Across the Sky, Advance of Zeta, and Blue Destiny to be integrated into the game and also animated. I for one would love to see any of those three series animated in the style that they've got going on with UC Engage. Of course, particularly Advance of Zeta. The other new things then are the Theta Plus and Saphira Gardner, and an event gacha featuring the Vargil with Gundam Head and Yuta Kashim. And before all of this Moon Gundam stuff then, they also unveiled another event gacha featuring Marita Cruz and her Kshatriya. Then on Gundam Breaker Mobile starting Friday, you could get your hands on the AZ Gundam and Gundam Aegis Knight with their newest Step Up Gacha event, and Miss Sazabi popped up in her own dedicated gacha. And then finally, with Arsenal Base launching last week, we've also gotten some official videos on how the game is played in order to promote it. So if you want to check them out for yourself, I will have them linked down below. And ironically enough, even though the earliest promotional videos were region locked, these ones aren't. It's like they aren't quite sure who they want the videos to be for. But on to the things you could get this week then. Last week Friday, the 10th anniversary Blu-ray box set for Gundam Age was released for 44,000 yen, 380 US, featuring a variety of extra content like audio dramas and commentaries, although no word on English subs being included or this thing coming over to the West at all. And the same went for Yoshiyuki Tomino's film works Entrusted to the Future, a documentary in conjunction with the ongoing World of Yoshiyuki Tomino exhibition that also features interviews with other peoples involved in the making of some of Tomino's most famous works and also curators of the exhibition. One day later then, you could get the Robot Damashi Zaku 2 JC type version anime for 7,150 yen, around 60 US, a unit that is also better known as the Land Combat version from the 08th MES team. And it also comes with some nice accessories like a Zaku machine gun, slightly different Zaku bazooka, and an effect part to mimic the damaged arm from that one scene from the anime. And for even more effect parts, on the same day, you could also pick up the Robot Damashi Side MS 08th MS Team optional part set version anime for 3,850 yen, a little under 35 US. A set that comes with various explosion parts, dust parts, a bazooka, a missile launcher, and even a little base to plant the shield in, to of course mimic that one scene from the opening. As for the reading material you could get this week then, there was Volume 1 of Crossbone Gundam X11, Volume 19 of Gundam Thunderbolt, the physical Volume 1 of Gundam Seed Eclipse, Volume 1 of the new War in the Pocket manga, which features a very interesting looking Alex Gundam, Volume 7 of Gundam NT, and Volume 17 of Gundam 0083 Rebellion. Now, quite a while back, I remember someone asking me if I knew what happened to the crew of the Albion after the events of 0083, in particular, what they did during the Grips War. And well, judging by the cover of this volume, I think this might give us the answer, so I really should get up to speed with the 0083 manga, because I've also seen some other snippets that looked extremely interesting to explore, so definitely gotta get on that. But onwards with the magazines now. There was the April issue of the monthly Gundam Ace featuring Gundam Seed Eclipse with that new Calamity Gundam variant, the April issue of Shonen Sunday S in which Gundam Aggressor is serialized, the April issue of the monthly model graphics featuring some really nicely modeled Gunpla like the Gundam Mark II and the Jim Quell, the April issue of the monthly Hobby Japan featuring Raida Joe's Easy Gunpla Technique 2022, which has a high new Gundam that looks very inspired by Kazuhisa Kondo's works, and for even more Gunpla techniques, you can pick up amazing tips and tricks for building Gunpla over the weekend, recommendations for an easy finish for your Gunpla, or Shumatsu de tsukuru sugowasa Gunpla Technique Gunpla Kantan Finish no Susume Mikushingu Hen from the Gunpla Super Technique line. And finally, you could get the weekly Mobile Suit Bible featuring the CeraV Gundam. And with that, it is already time to have a look at this week's Gundam apparel. Starting off with two Strict G collaborations that went on sale last week, Friday. The first one is a collaboration with Edwin to create Char's Counterattack and Hathaway's Flash inspired jeans. So for 13,200 yen, around 100 US, you can get regular straight jeans with an Amuro Ray design in either one wash or dark blue, or with a Char Aznable design in either one wash or black. And then for the same price, you can get loose tapered jeans with a Mafia design in either one wash or black. And then the second one is a collaboration with Alpha Industries for Char's Counterattack inspired fly jackets. For 36,300 yen, around 300 US, you can get a blue Amuro Ray styled one or a vintage gray Char Aznable styled one. And then on the same day, Bamco unveiled their second lineup of the Gundam Subtitle project. Although, subtitle here doesn't really refer to the subtitles we might all immediately think about, but instead to the title of a specific episode. And those episodes are Episode 29, Tragedy in Jaburo, Episode 36, Big Zam's Last Stand, and Episode 43, Escape. And for 3,300 yen, 30 US, you can get the Japanese title and a famous black or white image of the episode on a t-shirt, or for 1,760 yen, 15 US, you can get the colored version as an acrylic stand. And that has been all for this week's Gundam news. As always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great evening, and I'll see you all next week with more Gundam news.